And with that, hi everybody. Welcome to the countdown to Christmas. It's the final stretch. We are live streaming today and tomorrow and Thursday, Christmas Eve at noon. So please feel free to pop in and join us. Put your feet up, finish your last minute gifts, whatever it is you want to do, or you can goof around with us. We are going to be decorating a sweater. If you're in a hot climate, feel free to make this a t-shirt or whatever you're comfortable in. I picked myself up one of my other sweaters that I don't really care for anymore, and I'm going to decorate it and turn it into an ugly Christmas sweater. I'm going to attempt to make it ugly. These things usually wind up being a little on the cute side. But today we figured we would just start by creating I like to make appliques to put onto a sweater. It is so much easier than trying to create a sweater from scratch. So that's why I like to decorate an old sweater. So that's what we're going to do. And we got brainstorming about this over the weekend, and we had a whole bunch of different ideas. We just a flood of them actually, but we decided we would go with a gingerbread house as our inspiration. So we're going to build a two-dimensional gingerbread house that we can all decorate exactly the way we would like to. So this is kind of like a virtual gingerbread house decorating party. We're going to make the actual gingerbread house, and then we can sort of decorate it, be crazy with it, and then stitch it onto our sweaters or t-shirts. And then you can add extra stuff to your sweaters or your t-shirts as you go. So this is just going to be kind of a fun, ugly sweater construction party. And we are going to make a very simple shape to start with. So this is the part that got me super excited. If you're new to crochet, or if you haven't ventured too far outside of the traditional crochet patterns, you're in luck, because we're going to create a two-dimensional gingerbread house shape using a granny square and the first few rows of the corner to corner pattern. So I don't know how far we're going to get today. We're going to try and go for at least an hour, maybe a little over if we're sort of in the middle of something. But that's what we're starting with. So if you know how to do a granny square, and you can use the plain old classic shell stitch granny square where it's all shells, or you can use a solid double crochet granny square. We have tutorials for both. So if you need a refresher, we've got links to those, and we'll make sure once this is finished that they are in the description box if they're not already. I think Mr. InStitches can toss them into the chat.
Yes, I already did at the beginning. I don't know if it's still visible to everyone, but if you would like those links, just let me know.
Because we do have those. So you can refresh on any granny square. So you can use a solid granny square. You can use the shell stitch granny square, whichever one you like. It just depends on I guess your taste. And we're going to use the corner to corner stitch to make the roof. Because if you just increase with the corner to corner stitch, you just get an endless triangle. But you have the bonus of it having kind of a sharp pointed edge if you hold it upside down in a triangle. And I feel like that would look exactly like the peak of a roof with shingling. And if we add a little white edging to the bottom of it, it'll look like snow or icicles dripping off of a roof, or in this case, frosting. So that's the basic concept. You're welcome to work away at that at your own leisure. And I'm going to get started by making a granny square. So I'm making the square part of the house, the bottom part of the house. And I thought I would ask you guys which gingerbread color I should go with. So should I go with a dark gingerbread or a lighter gingerbread? And I don't really feel like either. I think both of these would be nice. This gingerbread is actually kind of in between, but I'm out of this brown.
By the way, we do have a tutorial for that little tree ornament gingerbread house Jayda's holding.
Yes, I do. I made a whole bunch of these. We've got a tutorial for this. We made that. When did we do this one? Like
many years ago. I keep saying, "Oh yeah, that was 2 years ago,"
yeah,
and then when I look up
like
an actual date, it was like 5 or 6. So I'm gonna stop saying that.
I know, right?
I'm gonna guess that was 5 years ago. That's my guess. I have to guess and then add years to it.
It's true,
and then I'm a little more accurate.
Anyway,
it's out there. I think it's called Gingerbread House Ornament.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jayda InStitches.
Yeah, and Yeah, it's a long one, but we show you how to do everything, including all the decoration on the roof and the frosting and all of it.
So we have some. You asked everyone what they thought
color?
you should start with. So I just want to recap.
So we've got beige
So
and we've got
is this
chocolate.
for the
This is to
solid
make-
frame of
yeah.
like the frame of the house?
This is to make the base of the house.
Okay, so
So
let me
we're-
start reading out what
We're in the
what,
cookie baking period. We're making the actual gingerbread to decorate later. So which
okay.
gingerbread color?
I gotcha. So
should I
this is gonna be
use?
the walls. The walls.
Yeah, this is the
okay.
wall and the roof.
The
Yeah.
wall and the roof. So starting with Serena Tori, we got dark.
Mm-hmm.
We got lighter.
Okay, 2, 1,
Dark.
3,
Dark.
4, 5,
Dark with light accents.
6, 7-ish.
Dark. Lighter. Lighter.
Dark's winning.
Lighter.
Okay. I think we're about 10 to 4.
Lighter.
11 to 4, 11 to 5.
Okay, there's a big tsunami of new answers here. Chocolate, beige, lighter, brown. Which brown? The
I would
light
call this
brown or the dark brown? Yeah,
This is
I'd
beige,
say
this
I'd
is
say
brown.
brown is that. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. From what I see, it looks like it's leaning towards the dark.
It feels like it's leaning towards. This is
Yeah.
a more gingerbready color.
Yeah, so
have
I
to
would.
say.
That's what I'm seeing
All
here.
right.
The majority have voted for the
Okay,
darker
so that's
brown.
it. All right, now the next question I want to ask you guys is, should I do a traditional granny square? This is just going to be solid color, mind you. It's not. We're not doing anything with. We're not changing colors. This is just we're baking the cookie. Should we do the base, the traditional granny square, which uses the shell stitch, or should we use the solid double crochet granny square, which creates a solid square, so no spaces?
I'd just like to thank Janice. She says, you guys posted that tutorial on December 16th, 2016.
2016.
So 4 years ago.
Thanks, Janice.
Thank you.
gosh.
We appreciate that.
4 years ago.
That's
Oh my
actually something I wanted to let people know, because a lot of people aren't aware of that. When you're watching YouTube videos, if there's always when the video was posted, and sometimes it's kind of fun to know.
Yeah.
The date, the year.
Yeah.
So that information is always posted underneath the video. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun to know.
Publication date.
Yeah, the publication date.
Yeah.
When it was published.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. 4 years.
Great. 4 years. So
that little house is 4 years old.
I've had this little
maybe
thing for
4 and a
4 years.
half.
It's so cute. I love it.
Aw.
I love 3-dimensional ornaments. I just love little fairy worlds. Okay, so solid double crochet granny square or the traditional shell stitch granny square. This is going to be the main square.
Okay, so now
it's going to be this part.
Definitely, hands down, the solid is winning.
Solid double crochet granny square. All right, no problem. Okay.
So I'm gonna post that video.
Yes.
So everyone knows which one. So the solid double is the one we're going with?
Crochet. Yeah, solid double crochet, and that's going to make a solid thing without spaces.
Not the solid color granny square tutorial. Okay.
Solid double crochet.
But I mean, anyone can do that one too
You
if
can
they
use
want.
either one. Yeah, because if you're more comfortable with the classic, which is the shell stitch granny square, do that one. It'll still be just as cute. So
okay, so
and we're trying to go ugly, right?
we're gonna try our best to go
trying.
ugly. So the tutorial I just posted is the one Jayda's gonna do today.
Mm-hmm.
The one I'm posting now is the one that you can also do.
Yes.
But we are not doing today.
Okay, so I love making stuff from scratch. This is so fun. I've got a size 4 medium yarn. It's acrylic, so the typical stuff. My sweater is acrylic, so I know that it's going to wash together nicely. And when I wash it, and I recommend this to anybody, when you make appliques for your sweaters or your t-shirts, always flip it inside out before you put it in the washing machine, because that will help keep the strain and the stress off of your all your hard work. It will also reduce the amount of pilling that may occur. And of course, we know pilling is all those little tiny balls that go and like end up all over your sweaters. So always wash them inside out, because it'll make everything look nicer longer. And I recommend air drying. Okay, so I'm going to choose, I had a couple of my regular hooks here, figuring I was using the size 4 yarn. And since I'm going with the solid double crochet granny square, I think I'm going to go with the 5.5 millimeter hook. You can use any hook you want, But I feel like this hook would be better with this yarn, especially since all of my stitches are going to be very close together. I'm going to start with a cinch circle because I want my center to be nice and tight without any hole, but you can use a chained loop if you feel that's a little easier for you. And the neat thing about the solid double crochet granny square is that it pretty much like starts the same way as any other one. 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 2, etc. So you start with your 4 sides. It basically both granny squares start exactly the same way. And I love making granny squares. They're just so quick. I've made so many at this point that my fingers kind of know the routine. Don't forget your last corner before you finish up your row. That's something that stops up a lot of people. So don't forget your last 2 chains or however many chains you're using in your corners. And then that's your first row. So I did a cinch circle. I was able to cinch it up nice and tight. There's my 4 corners. I just pulled up my loop. That's it. That's the start. And now from here on out, I'm going to double crochet. I'm going to chain 3. I'm using a chain 3 for a double crochet.
I'm celebrating your progress.
Thank you. Hey, that's important.
Yes.
You should be celebrating progress.
1 step at a time. Every time you take a baby step, you have to celebrate.
It's true. Yeah, because otherwise you get bogged down and you forget to celebrate all of the little things that got you to the big things.
That's right.
The big thing just feels like it was so huge.
Yes. YTFP says, oh my God, ugly Christmas sweater, ugly Christmas gingerbread sweater.
Yes.
Bang on. That's exactly what we are doing.
We are doing that. It's going to be so cute. Cute and ugly. Ugly, cute.
Cute and ugly? Yeah,
Cute
most of the stuff that you end up completing has an element of cuteness.
I can't help it.
You know, when you try to go ugly, it kind of has some cute flair.
Crochet is generally kind of soft. It's nice. It's cozy. So it's kind of hard to like get completely ugly with it. So what I'm doing is the solid double crochet granny square. So I'm still using 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in each corner because I don't need my corners to get too big too fast. And I'm just joining at the top of the chain 3 to complete every single row. And wherever I join, I chain 3. That counts as the first double crochet of my row. And then I double crochet in the top of every single stitch. Don't get confused by this false stitch. The false stitch is that little, so when you're working in the round and you join every row, when you join, the act of joining the row creates a little tiny stitch. And then you chain 3, and that chain 3 sits on top of that little tiny stitch. And it looks like every other stitch except that it's created an extra stitch. And sometimes it's smaller or tighter. I call it the false stitch. I've seen other people call it the false stitch. That's how I kind of understood it as I came through this whole world. So the false stitch sometimes gets used depending on the pattern. But in this case, because we want the same number of stitches on every single side of our granny square, we're skipping it. So just don't let it fool you when you come back around. And remember and if you're at all curious, just check. Count the stitches on each side of your square, and they should always be the same. So however many that is, each side should have the same number of stitches on it. Also, another little tip. When you're leaving a corner, when you're working a solid double crochet granny square and you're working a double crochet in the top of every single stitch, when you leave a corner, make sure you pull back on all of your corner stitches to reveal the top of that first stitch so you don't miss it, because that's another way that you can get thrown off of your stitch count. You'll actually skip the top of a stitch because you've got corner stitches covering it. So every time you leave a corner, pull back just so you can see the top of that stitch and you don't miss it.
So we have some young people in the chat today. So I wanted to say hello to Mackenzie.
Hi, Mackenzie.
Mackenzie's here almost every day. Chloe, I believe.
Are you guys on Christmas break yet?
Or someone else. Yeah, I'm curious.
Because it's I think it started around here. I know everybody's are kind of staggered.
So Mackenzie has her question of the day.
Oh, all right. Let's hear it.
So she would like to know your answer. Would you rather have yarn or get a puppy?
Oh. I would rather have yarn.
Whoa, I was right. That's what I guessed you'd guess.
I love
That's what I guessed
animals.
You'd say.
But a puppy is a lot more work than a bunch of yarn.
There's two answers when you're like what when you're, as Elle would say, a dinosaur level.
Yeah, dinosaur level.
There's so many considerations.
Yeah, you know what?
A puppy is definitely more exciting.
A lot cuter.
But you also have to be prepared for all the extra work and obligation.
Yes, absolutely.
That comes with a little pet. Yarn is like throw it on the shelf and it's done.
Yarn is throw it on the shelf, done.
Every once in a while you maybe vacuum.
Yeah, yarn isn't going to break your heart when it gets old.
I know.
I'm way too sensitive. Yeah, but a puppy would be a lot of fun. And a puppy's probably better for your health because it demands you to get out and go for a walk. And yarn just kind of beckons you.
Puppy
to a nice
definitely
cozy corner.
gives you something to do. Definitely keeps you company.
Keeps you company. Yeah. Good question.
Diane says you should get a kitten.
A kitten?
I agree.
A kitten would be great.
We should get a kitten and a puppy and yarn. How about that? Let's get everything. Let's get all of it.
That sounds crazy and
sounds
fun.
Like a very exciting day. We got a super chat.
Oh my goodness!
Yay!
Thank you.
So this is from Alice.
Alice, thank you, Alice.
Alice is also a member.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So big thank you to Alice. Alice says, "Hi again. Just finishing making my last family Christmas gift. Very much looking forward to making something for myself in the new year.
Yes.
Wondering what everyone else is looking forward to making."
Excellent question.
That is a great question. Everyone, share your answer.
Yes. I'm very impressed, Alice, that you are just polishing off your gift list in good time. I'm impressed because usually I'm nowhere near done at this time, even though I start early. I start like in August. I like to make a little something for myself usually during the break. So when we take our little 2 weeks off over the Christmas break, I usually like to sort of sit down and make a little something for myself.
Sometimes you get into sewing.
Yes.
Kind of change gears a little bit.
Yeah, I change gears a little bit. I do want to do some sewing.
Some puzzles.
I'm definitely doing a puzzle.
For those of you that don't know, Jayda loves puzzles.
I'm a puzzle addict. I love puzzles. Okay, my darlings, I have put together, oh, that was fast. Here is the base of our house. I think that's pretty big. So this is 4 rows. I'm just going to hold it up. That's a 4-row solid double crochet granny square. It's got the pretty little teardrop shape that runs from the center out to the corners because of the chain 2 space that I use. And it makes a really nice base for a house. Now, I'm just going to hold my sweater up. I'm kind of keep in mind the size of the roof and any other decorations I want to add. So let's see, here it is. This is how you figure out how big you want to make your house. I want it to sit, I'm going to have probably a pretty decent sized roof. So I'm going to say that's big enough. So that was a size 4 yarn, 5.5 millimeter hook, solid double crochet granny square, 4 rows. And let's measure it. I know I have a measuring tape around here somewhere. Excuse me, little hat. My pine cone's wearing.
Well, while you're grabbing that, I've got to celebrate some super chats and a new member.
Oh my gosh. Hi. Thank you, everybody.
It's been busy while you turned around.
Woo. Don't ever turn your back on the internet. Is that
So this is a super chat from Nay.
Hi, Nay.
From the other side of the planet.
The other side of the planet.
Hello, Nay.
Beautiful New Zealand.
Yes.
Which is having a relatively normal Christmas, we understand.
Oh,
and
good for you.
That's so nice.
You're so lucky.
That's worth celebrating.
Nay says, sorry to interrupt, but hi, guys. I'm up just after 6 a.m. Finishing a Christmas present for a boy with spina
bifida.
Bifida.
Yes.
Bifida? That's a tricky one.
That's a long one to say.
They're hay bales for his new tractor. Baby is asleep, so I have a bit of time. Are you doing the hay bales from our farm friends?
That sounds so cute.
We have
hay bales for his
we
tractor.
have a hay bale pattern in our farm friends ebook.
Yeah.
That goes with the whole package.
I love making 3-dimensional stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. Nice to know you're there, Nay.
Yeah, Nay, 6 a.m.
6
working hard like little Santa's elf making Christmas presents.
For sure.
And also a big thank you to Jennifer for joining our channel membership.
Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you. I've just measured it. It's 5 inches across. I think that's a perfectly acceptable size for the base of my little gingerbread house. 5 inches. It's also, what is that, about 13 and a half centimeters. So that's perfect. Now, because this is an applique, I have 2 options here. You're giggling.
I'm giggling because someone out there is comparing husbands to puppies. So, you want to hear the comment?
Yeah, I do.
So this is from Crafty Chats. Husbands are as good as puppies. They still need feeding and walking, but at least they have the advantage of being able to drive.
That's true.
So we're better than puppies, is what I'm saying. Let's be honest.
You're more useful than a puppy.
We're one notch up from a puppy.
Puppies got cute. They've got cute.
They got cute galore.
Yeah.
Well, husbands were cute when they were little.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so
if you saw your husband as, like, you know, a little chibified, you know, their 2, 3, 4-year-old version, tell me you wouldn't be like pinching the heck out of them.
Probably. This is
like, let's be honest. There'd be a lot of pinching going on.
I've seen your photos. yeah. I've seen the one where you're trying to help your father. Like,
I think puppies have an unfair advantage because they're little.
They're cute. They're soft. They smell good.
They're super soft when they're babies. Oh my goodness.
They're eager to do whatever, whenever, which is really nice.
Yes. Husbands are not. There's a little more grumbling.
Do I have to?
Do I have to drive you again? Yeah.
Okay, so if you are sewing this onto a regular sweater, you can leave a long tail, just like you would for an applique, so that you can use the tail of the yarn to sew it down to your sweater. I feel like in this case, that might help make things look a little uglier, so that's cool. I think I might do that. However, you can also use a needle and thread. So if you're using a t-shirt and you feel that punching a needle with a yarn through the fabric of your t-shirt would be difficult, or it would really stretch out your t-shirt fabric, then I recommend just making the pieces, fastening off, weaving in your tails, and using a sewing needle and thread, or a sewing needle, like a large-eyed sewing needle and embroidery floss, to sew your pieces down to your t-shirt, or if it's a sweater with a really tight knit, same thing. That way you have more control over the placement, over the sewing. You can make the sewing look neat and tidy or ugly. It's entirely up to you, but you won't have difficulty getting your needle and your yarn through the fabric. This particular sweater that I've got is, I don't know, it's got pretty decent sized little spaces through it. So I feel like I could use the yarn from my actual applique and my yarn needle, and I won't have too much trouble, and it might even make it look uglier. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to make sure that I've left enough yarn to sew all the way around the edge of my square. So I'm just going to fasten off, and then I'm going to set this aside. So here is the bottom of my little house. So that's the first part made. And now, since we're still in the cookie baking sort of part of this, I'm going to make the roof. And I'm going to use the old traditional corner to corner pattern, but I'm just going to increase on every side because I want to basically make a triangle. And then I'm going to fasten off. So no squaring up. It's just the first half of the typical corner to corner pattern. So I'm going to put this to the side. I'm using the same color. And I'm going to get started on the roof. So corner to corner, traditional, you start with a slip knot, you chain 6, and you double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, double crochet into the next 2 chains, and that becomes the first block of your pattern. And we've got 2 different tutorials on using the single or the corner to corner traditional corner to corner pattern. We've made a scarf, which is a nice short version, and we made a full blanket. So either one starts exactly the same way. So if you want to see it done with really pretty colored self-striping yarn, go to the scarf pattern. And if you'd rather see it using the Karen Cake version, you can go to the baby blanket version. And also we have a free pattern for that corner to corner baby blanket tutorial that we did on our website on the Pattern Workshop page. So if you want to give it a try or you want to flesh out your journal, maybe you haven't seen that one yet, that's there on the Pattern Workshop page. And if you're working on one of these, you just need to know the increasing pattern of the corner to corner stitch, and that's going to get our little roof created. So
how many rounds did you do on that granny square?
4.
Rounds.
I did 4 rounds on the solid double crochet granny square. And now I'm going to just increase each side of the traditional corner to corner stitch pattern until I feel like I want to make a triangular roof piece that's just a little bit wider than my square is, because I want to have like overlap. I want it to kind of look like a Swiss cottage, I guess. And so I'm just going to work away at that now.
I also wanted to mention many viewers asked a few weeks back when we were doing a live stream if we could do the warm weather version of this ugly Christmas sweater. And yes, that's also how this would work out. So if you want to do an ugly Christmas t-shirt, then you can also do this project because you can just sew this onto the t-shirt instead of a sweater.
Yes.
So it works for both hot and cold weather.
Yes, it works for both hot and cold weather.
We had people asking from South Africa, and I think over where Nay is. Isn't it their summer over there?
Yeah, New Zealand and Australia are in the middle of summer. It's nice and cozy there.
So put it on a t-shirt instead of a sweater.
Yeah, put it on a t-shirt instead of a sweater.
Ta-da!
It's better on a sweater, but
There's
only if
another
it's cold.
baby step celebration.
I am just making sure that I haven't gone off the rails here.
Some people want me to spin the camera so I'm visible, but I don't know if I'm polished enough for the camera.
You might consider popping in later and saying hello.
I might have to go shave and shower, put on some clothes.
I distracted myself.
Put some clothing on.
Put some pants on.
Put some pants on. I'm only wearing a t-shirt right now.
There we go. I got distracted. Okay, there we go.
I'll just come and say a quick hello to everyone. I'm actually wearing clothing. Hi.
It's we are
And the trolling begins. It's my fault. I started it. Obviously.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm away to the races now. I got a little distracted there, but here I go. So I am, just to catch everybody up, I'm now working on the roof part of our gingerbread cookie.
Mr. InStitches is only Zoom ready, not stage ready. Exactly.
Zoom ready with a bad internet connection, so you can't see all of the grizzled.
It's a little blurry.
How messy.
So that's okay. It got saved.
So this is just to explain a little bit more what I'm doing. I'm using the corner to corner, the traditional corner to corner stitch, and I'm just going to keep increasing on both ends until I have an inverted triangle that I feel will make a nice roof for my gingerbread house. And I love this pattern because each of the blocks makes it look a little bit like a shingle. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work away at that for a bit. And we have tutorials on the corner to corner stitch if you need a refresher.
Some good jokes in the chat.
I
don't know if I can repeat them.
You're having a good snicker over there. Glad you're enjoying the party.
Woohoo! We got a super chat.
Hey.
This is from Sandy.
Hey, Sandy, thank you.
Sandy says, "You guys are so cute." Thank you.
Thank you. Cute and goofy. Cute. A couple of cute folks making an ugly Christmas sweater, or at least trying to. I have a feeling this is going to look neat.
It's going to look amazing.
I'm excited about decorating a crochet gingerbread house. I think that's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
So there's four rows of my corner to corner stitch. Yeah, this is definitely going to look like shingles. How neat is that?
It looks amazing already.
I'm so
excited. I can just see the icing. The icing details.
I'm so delighted that everybody kind of picked the darker color, because I think against the pink sweater, it's really going to stand out.
It'll definitely stand out. Yeah.
So cookie baking.
Let us know if you're gonna follow along with this
if
project.
you're gonna do this, let us know. Otherwise, we have a secondary aspect to our little countdown to Christmas crochet party live streams this week. So just to reiterate, we're going to be here today. Today, obviously, here we are.
Are we going to be here today?
I'm not here. I don't know about you.
I don't think I'm here.
This is just my avatar.
I'm not here at all.
We're going to be here today at noon, so 12 o'clock Eastern, December 22nd. We're going to do it tomorrow, which is Wednesday, December 23rd, also at noon, and Thursday, December 24th, Christmas Eve at noon. So Christmas lunch hours, our little party, and we're just here. So if you guys want to hang out, finish up last minute gifts, if you want to make this crazy ugly Christmas sweater along with us, if you just want to like have some fun, little company, share some recipes, whatever you want to do, we're here. We're here to be we're here to add some community to a year that really needed more community.
We're here for companionship for the dumpster fire that is 2020.
2020. The unbelievable bingo card of
Even
catastrophe.
though I know there's silver lining and everything, it's still a dumpster fire.
It is still a dumpster fire. So, with that dumpster fire idea in mind, that's why we're here. But we're not just going to be making an ugly Christmas sweater. We're also going to be asking some fun questions. So we have a fun combination of fantasy style questions.
We got some real comedians in the chat. Pants went out of style in 2020.
They did. Pants are out.
Who needs pants anymore?
Oh, and can I just say, elastic waistband. That's
number one.
I don't want another pair of pants or skirt. In fact,
ever.
I will probably, one of my plans was to make some more skirts for myself. I want to redo my whole wardrobe, but I want to make myself some pretty new skirts. And I think I'm just going to make them elastic waist. Yes, pants went out of style. What else? Who said?
Oh, there's all kinds. Some of them are, I probably should not repeat.
Oh, all right. Well, this is a family.
They're not that bad, but you know. You know where they're going.
We know where they're going. Okay, so we're also got some questions. Some of them are fanciful, and some of them are kind of sweet, reflective, year in review things. Once again, always with an eye to trying to be creative, to jumpstart our inspiration, and to remind us that we're all still here. We've made it. It's the final stretch. We've got like 2 weeks left, and we do have a lot to be grateful for. I know some mornings it's really difficult to try and get the list going. I know I have trouble with that, especially when I wake up and I'm all swollen from my rheumatoid, and it takes me like I can't even push back the blankets. But there are always things to be grateful for. Chief among them, hanging out with you guys, working on some crochet. Pants are great.
Pants are great.
I can still fit into my pants.
You don't have to wear them, but they're great.
Let's be grateful for pants.
For example, we don't know if you're wearing pants right now.
You don't know. I might.
There could be just airflow. There could just be good old fresh air.
It could just be a blanket bed down here. Oh my gosh, Mr. InStitches.
Do you even have legs? Jayda's torso is just attached to the table.
We just plugged my torso here. Okay, so I thought we would also ask everybody a little question. So now that we're sort of deep into the cookie making part of our little live stream today, our lunch hour, let's have a question.
Woohoo!
So I'm just going to randomly
questions.
Grab one out of the bowl. We've got a whole bunch here. Questions. Ooh. And what a perfect one to start
Okay,
with.
Before we start, anyone who is participating in the chat, please leave your answer.
Yes, please participate.
And really think about it.
Yes.
Don't just throw something out there, or unless you are absolutely certain.
Take some time to consider it.
Yeah, really think about it.
Remember,
we want some good, thought out, long-winded answers.
We want
long typed,
well thought out answers, and remember that these always help kind of inspire other people. There's always a little something to be gleaned from people's answers. Mm-hmm. So here is the first question. It's a nice gentle one to kind of get us into the swing of things. What is your most prized ball, and can you bring yourself to use it?
Oh, that's a good one. I'd like to know Mackenzie's answer on this one.
I'm not sure, actually. I will actually have to give that one some thought. But I do know that sometimes the most prized ball of yarn is a ball of yarn that I've had a long time. sometimes it's not that I can't bring myself to use it, but I haven't been able to think of something to use it for, which I feel would be reflective of its magnificence. But I do have like these ones I have behind me here. I love these. This is mostly Copenhagen yarn, and I absolutely love it. And I haven't been able to bring myself to use any of it or decide on a project that I want to use it for. So I tend to just sort of decorate with it instead. How are we doing here? Oh my gosh, my roof's done already. I wasn't even paying attention. Guys, look at this.
I was just answering a question for Erica. Erica says, it's difficult to find crochet projects for men, like to crochet for men. And I just was letting her know that I've got on the Mr. InStitches channel, I've curated as many tutorials of ours that I possibly could.
Yes.
That you could design for men.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you go there and go to the playlist section, you should be able, like I've got hats, different things like that. Toys
yes.
for boys,
hats, toys.
Blanket designs for boys. Tutorials that we've done, they're just playlists that I've curated.
The number one thing to consider when making something for anyone is what that person actually likes.
Yes.
So
not what you like.
Yeah, not what you
like. What they like.
So it's perfectly fine to look for inspiration in a playlist or a video that's like, great gifts for men or something, because that's a great place to start. But these things should always just be, inspiration, because if you're making something for anyone, they don't necessarily fit into a very narrow category. Like the things that we like down here aren't the same things that the couple next door likes necessarily. There might be some crossover, but always play to their hobbies, play to the things they like. If you sort of sit down and make a list about all the things that you know about someone or all the things that you like about someone, you start to sort of, a picture emerges and you can totally think of a handful of crochet things to fit
Absolutely.
in there. So always think about what it is they like.
Well, I hope that helps.
I hope it helps. It's done. I whipped this up so darn fast. Okay, how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We have a lot of real good answers here.
That's because our crew is amazing.
Mm-hmm. So let me see. How far back does this go? That's easy. I have 4 balls hubby got me last year in Ireland, and I don't know what to do with it. It's gorgeous stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds nice.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You just made me think of something. That's another thing. Yarn that someone gives you as a gift that's really nice. You're like, I don't want to make something where I wreck this.
Sapphire Lucy says, flamingo. It's pink, black, and the second shade of pink.
Oh,
that sounds nice.
Oh, that sounds pretty. Flamingo. Who made it? That sounds neat. I want to check that one out.
A velvet quiet pick. Bernat velvet quiet pick.
Bernat velvet. I like the velvet series.
The velvet series.
Mm-hmm. I have a ball of velvet that I haven't done anything with yet either. It was also a gift.
Some people are saying, I don't really have like a special one. Style crew. Woo! Look how good that looks. And it's just the beginning.
It's just the start.
We just started.
Guys. Okay, I'm so excited. So 2 basic crochet patterns and voila, an instant house shape. And it's so cute because the corner to corner looks like it's got actual roof tiles. Now I've fastened off and I'm going to leave the yarn, but I'm also going to, I'm going to crochet some white frosting around the roof first. And when I get to the end, I think I'm going to sew it down with the brown, and I'm going to leave the frosting kind of like on the outer edge. I'll explain all that when I get there, but I'm going to highlight now that roof shape, which is created with that neat little zigzag across the bottom.
If you want
using some white,
hold it up a little closer to the camera so they can see the pattern on, and then twist it a bit back and forth. Yeah, there we go. You can see that they look like roof tiles. Yeah, it looks great.
They're going to look a lot more like that once I get some definition on them. But isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, so quick, so fast. And you know what? You could use this. I mean, that's actually very cute. You could use that as an applique on blankets and stuff too. So we're going to try and make it ugly because it's a Christmassy sweater. But I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That is so darn cute. I'm thinking birdhouse. I'm thinking baby blanket. I'm thinking that would just be so darn cute. Look how excited I get.
That looks great. That looks great.
Spooling up.
We have more. We have a ton of answers.
I
I'll
wanna
just
hear
read a
his
couple
answers.
more. A
Yep.
merino alpaca blend I spun myself.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you spin your own yarn.
Do you have any doll clothes tutorials? We have doll clothes patterns on our Etsy shop. We have a doll hat. On it's kind of a doll hat.
Here's just a quickie to
Yeah.
explain that. We don't have any doll patterns that are specific to dolls, but you can make our Easy Perfect Fit slouch hat and our Christmas elf hat and our chunky bean stitch beanie. All three of those are adorable. We explain how to make them to fit any sized head in the video. And if you need extra help, there's a head sizing chart over on our website. But most 18-inch doll heads are 12 inches in circumference. So that's all you need to know. And you can make any of those hats you can use that pattern to make a hat to fit an 18-inch doll. And you can use the same size yarn if you want, or you can downsize your yarn weight, or you can use a hook. So 3 adorable hat patterns that you can easily make for an 18-inch doll. And because they're small, this is one of the reasons I love doll clothing, you can whip them up really quick. So definitely check out those 3 tutorials if you want to make like 3 really cute hats. And wouldn't an elf hat for your 18-inch doll be that's what I'm going to do this afternoon.
Is everyone is everyone experiencing sound issues, or is it just 1 or 2 people? Because it might be on your end.
Yes, it might be. I know the internet load is heavy for everybody right now.
Yeah. Also, we've kind of got some
wind,
so we're hoping. But I mean, I don't think I didn't change anything on our settings, so it shouldn't be us. Okay, so most people are reporting that they can hear fine.
It's
so
okay.
It must be on your end if you're having issues with volume.
Just close the browser and open it again and reload the live. We're not going anywhere.
And then check your volume and check. You have to check the YouTube player's volume, which is under the video, or the 3 little dots, or your actual phone, because they're separate volume settings.
Yes, they're separate volume settings because that makes sense.
I know.
Okay, I'm going to work on icing, the snow icing on the roof. So I'm going to just unpin. I'm just using sort of your basic straight pins just to kind of pin everything into place. And this is another thing I like to do when I'm doing complicated sort of appliques, or I'm kind of creating a scene. I like to pin everything down first, move stuff around, repin it, hold it up in front of a mirror, especially if it's going to be something I'm going to wear, and then go about sewing everything down in a very sort of distinct order. So I highly recommend just pinning everything into place first. I like where my house is, and now I'm going to add some frosting to my roof. So I've taken my 3 pins out, and I'm going to just crochet with white. So I've got some white yarn here, and I think this is a slightly thinner yarn. This is like a size 3 lightweight. This is another thing. It's still acrylic, so it'll still wash nicely, but I'm playing with my yarn weights now, which is 1, fun, 2, perfectly acceptable, and especially in a situation like this. And 3, if it ends up looking weird, that's great, because this is an ugly Christmas sweater. I am, however, going to use a slightly smaller hook just so I can kind of create a little bit of like interest with the snow. And I'm kind of just looking for inspiration back at our original little granny or little gingerbread house. So when we did the frosting on this gingerbread house, we did a lot of little picots, and I like the way that looks. But then again, I think it might look a little more real if I just do smooth crochet. I'm designing this as we go, guys. So I think I'm just going to, here's my little roof. I'm going to pick a side that I like to be the front, which I think is going to be this side. So I'm going to join my yarn at the top, or the peak at the little corner. This is basically where the whole thing started. I'm going to join with a slip stitch. And I think I'm just going to single crochet all the way down the edge. So because it's the double crochet stitch that we used in the corner to corner pattern, I'm going to work 2 single crochet along the edge of each of those blocks. So there's 6 blocks all the way down. That should roughly translate to 12, maybe a little over, just because some of those blocks feel a little long. There's no right number of stitches here. If you're going to do this, you just want it to look even. And since I'm using a slightly smaller yarn and a slightly smaller hook, I might have to work in a few more stitches. Doesn't matter. Whatever works.
How's our sound now, everyone? Does it sound normal? Maybe we had a little internet glitch.
Might have had a little internet glitch. It's a busy time of year after all.
Getting a thumbs up.
Thumbs up? Okay.
Good.
So
that's good.
Now that I've sort of explained where I'm at with the roof, would everybody like to do another question?
Yes. Let's see. Let's see if
see how that's going to really punch out that roof? That's going to look like
sweet
little white snow. So there's one side. So I'm just single crocheting down the edge. You know what? I'm not even counting. As long as it looks even, doesn't matter to me. And I think I'm going to work a little. So just before we get back to questions, I'm going to work. You see how the bottom of the roof, because of the corner to corner pattern, creates natural little kind of like teeth or a little jagged sort of edge at the bottom of each of these little points. I'm going to put an icicle.
It might be when you put your coffee down on the tile. Someone mentioned
it was loud
because it kind of makes a big loud.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to spin the mic around so it's not facing that. And I'm just going to... No, I don't want to unplug it in case it doesn't... That might not help. So...
All right, so...
We'll just have to go with the volume we got.
I'm going to create a little icicle by... When I get into... Yeah, I like this. I already like this. Let me get a couple centimeters, couple stitches past it. So I'm just single crocheting along the bottom edge of my little roof. And every time, oh gosh, this is cute. Every time I get up to the point of one of those blocks, I'm going to add a little icicle. I'm going to get another one done just so you can see it. And all I'm going to do is just chain 3 and then slip stitch into the second and third chains, which is basically kind of going out and going back, and then just single crocheting back into the same place. And it's almost like mimicking what an icicle does. So let me just get that up and out of the way. So there we go. So that's going to be the bottom edge of my roof. And on every single little point, I'm going to put a little icicle down. So it looks like my frosting is dripping. And so every time I single crochet up to that point, chain 3, slip stitch into the second and third chains, and then single crochet back into the point and continue on. Nothing fancy at all.
It looks fantastic.
And it looks so cute.
It looks like dripping
icing. It looks like dripping icing.
Dripping ice. It looks great.
Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun with this. Can you tell? Aw.
So another question. Let's do it.
Let's do another question. All right, my darlings. Let's see here. Here's one. Okay. Oh, this is one of the magical ones. I like this. A world-renowned chef appears in your kitchen on Christmas morning, ready and willing to cook up a storm. What do you have chef make you for breakfast? Anything you want.
Oh.
Ooh.
Can we have multiple everything?
Yes. Yes, of course. It's the holidays.
Chef's choice.
Chef's choice.
That's the first answer. Eggs Benedict.
That must be somebody who worked in a restaurant, and they know that if you say chef's choice, you usually get the best thing.
You get the good
because
stuff.
It's the thing they know how to make the best.
Eggs Benedict 3 times in a row.
Eggs Benedict.
Yeah, those are so good. Fancy bagels. Eggs Benny. Everyone likes Eggs Benedict.
I love that. Let me see. I would like
lemon ricotta pancakes.
That sounds like something I would like. I love anything with lemon in it. Lemon ricotta.
Oh. Perfect.
That sounds good.
Julia Child.
She wants in the
That's
kitchen.
what she wants in the kitchen. So whatever comes out
and
of
then
that.
Whatever she wants to do.
Crepes with bacon.
Oh, crepes.
Yes.
Crepes are
Tamales.
Tamales. As in hot tamales? You know?
What's a tamale exactly?
That's a good question.
Rosario, let us know. what a tamale is.
That sounds good.
Waffles.
Waffles.
Crepes.
Crepes would be fun.
I mean, I've heard hot tamale. I've heard that term.
A hot
I
tamale.
wonder if it's like a pancake.
It's probably like a crepe of some sort.
It must be, yeah.
More
eggs Benedict with bacon and ham. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we have to stop talking food.
No.
Spinach and bacon quiche.
Oh, I love quiche.
Denver omelet with potatoes.
Love spinach. Denver omelet. What's in a Denver omelet? And anything with potatoes.
Steak and eggs.
I'll take
classic.
anything with potatoes.
Coffee cake, waffles, crepes, and croissants.
We made
eggs Benedict. There's a lot of eggs Benedict fans in the
really
chat.
Good. I think it's because it's a bit like to make a really good Hollandaise sauce is not, easy.
It's not an easy task.
It's
there's a lot of prep work in eggs Benedict.
Yeah,
stuffed French toast. Oh, that sounds good.
Oh my gosh, stuffed French toast.
Eggs Benedict with champagne and OJ. That sounds like something you'd have on a vacation.
That's a mimosa. That's what you have with your eggs Benedict.
Anything as long as it's not too spicy
or
not spicy at all. Lemon ricotta pancakes are so good. There's another one who wants lemon ricotta pancakes.
That sounds so good. Lemone.
Buttermilk blueberry waffles.
Oh.
Scrambled egg omelet.
Blueberry scrambled egg omelet. Oh my gosh, this is great. Okay, everybody, we all know what we're going to make for breakfast now. And you know what the beauty is? I mean, with the possible exception of making a good Hollandaise sauce, which I know I have a recipe for, most of these are kind of makeable. Like it's not like it's super difficult. So.
No. Steak and hash browns, cheesecake. That makes a good breakfast. Shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie.
Yum.
I love a good shepherd's pie.
I'm still waiting for the tamale answer.
I make a shepherd's pie. I'm supposed to avoid potatoes now and again because they're not the best for my RA. But I've made
French toast panettone.
I've made shepherd's pie using mashed cauliflower instead of mashed potato. So you just substitute in cauliflower, a whole head of cauliflower. Or more, depending on how big your thing is, and it's delicious.
Tamales are a traditional Mexican fare at Christmas. A mixture inside a corn husk.
Oh, that sounds good. A mixture inside a corn husk.
I figured they were Mexican.
I will be looking them up.
But I've never really known exactly what they are. A frittata?
I love frittata.
That sounds good.
I made that for us the other morning.
They're made with corn. So are they like the corn, like the flat cornbread?
This is coming together faster than I thought it would. I love it.
It's corn inside with meat and veggies.
Corn inside with meat and veggies,
and then cooked in a corn sometimes husk. Cheese
and cheese.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
That sounds amazing. And probably you can make them as spicy as you want. I'm guessing you might.
Cheese or meat wrapped in a wet cornbread like dough.
Oh wow, you're so.
Tortilla type.
So good.
Okay, yeah, I think I understand now. Thanks, guys.
That sounds amazing.
Look at that.
There's the frosting.
That icing. It looks amazing. It's dribbling.
Whee! Now I'm not going to be sewing this down.
More dribbly.
I'm not going to sew this down until I'm completely finished decorating it. Just in case I end up doing some crazy stuff. So. Plus, I want all of the decorating, like all of the sewing and embroidery, anything like that. I want that to hide on the back of the applique and not be sort of showing through to the back of the sort of the inside of the sweater. Not because it wouldn't be ugly, it would be ugly, but because I don't want to feel like ties and knots and strings kind of rubbing up against me. So I'm going to do all of the work on the applique and then I will sew it down to the sweater.
I'm sorry, Jayda, but I'm seeing a lot more cute than ugly.
This is
so
adorable. I know I'm failing miserably.
You are failing at the ugly. My goodness.
I'm trying, but darn it, it's so cute. I can't help it.
Well, we still got two days to go, so we'll see what happens.
This is literally just become my favorite sweater. Like
this is just the base.
This is just the base.
Getting started.
We're just getting started. So there's our. Oh my gosh, it's just so darn cute. There's our. I think it would be smart to add some Would it be cool to add some snow to the roof or add some stars to the roof? What should let's get into
I think
that.
you need to add something.
So let's continue. Let's just start by decorating the roof a little bit more. So what does everybody recommend? We could add more snow. We could decorate it with stars. What are some of the things you usually find on a
Well, first of all,
gingerbread?
shouldn't it have a little bit of like, that classic gingerbread swirl, that like the
Maybe.
icing,
Like
that
like fluffity fluffity?
waving over top of the.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know when you're icing
yes,
it and
yes.
you can kind of do this.
He's acting it out right now. It looks actually.
You know what I'm talking about.
You did that like you've done it before.
I have.
You
you
like,
make it look like
when you've got the royal icing out and you're like doing the super fancy stuff. Yeah, I know. Always showing me up in the kitchen. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking.
I don't know, just an idea. We'll see what.
So that would be across here.
Candy buttons.
Candy. So you know how
so make the roof look like candy.
So have
that's some of the ideas. A chimney, gumdrops.
Chimney, gumdrops.
How about we sew real candy and real gumdrops to it?
No, I can't, because then if I went outside to feed the squirrels,
it's supposed to be an ugly sweater.
It's supposed to be an ugly sweater. I think
stars, candy pieces.
So we can. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me write this down. I love all these ideas. Okay, so this is for the roof. So we're thinking roof. We're going candy, extra icing, like sort of royal icing. I'll make that note because that'll remind me. Icing, gumdrops, candy, and gumdrops. Gumdrops are pretty. That's standard fare. I feel like that would be recognizable if we did gumdrops.
Yes.
So here's the next thing. Should it be
lights, little fairy lights, chimney and smoke.
Chimney.
Snow.
Lights.
Peppermint pinwheels.
Chimney. Peppermint pinwheels.
M&Ms. Gumdrops. Candy pieces. We're getting lots of
candy.
Lots of ideas in regards to candy.
I love the idea of the little chimney.
I wonder if I should do gumdrops as a
chimney would be cute. Okay, so then do we crochet little candy pieces, or do we use buttons or beads, or what would I feel like if it's buttons would be garish. Buttons and beads would be garish. So now we're heading into some nice ugly territory. I think that would be good. But crocheting them would be kind of neat too if we wanted to do the whole thing in crochet.
Well, let's save let's stick with crochet today, and maybe we'll save the
little additions
later. Additions for tomorrow.
So let me.
It's up to you. I mean, you've got all your supplies handy.
I've got everything here. Let me start with
try the crochet stuff. You don't have to sew it on.
Let me start with some red.
Santa? How about Santa stuffing himself halfway into the chimney? I like that.
Could I make a big red butt and 2 black boots and make it look like
into the chimney?
I
think you could. It would take a little extra time.
I'm gonna try my hand at making a little miniature peppermints.
Crochet snow lines.
So let's see what I can do.
Peppermint buttons and a crochet chimney.
Let's make a peppermint button.
So how about, that's a good start. How about a peppermint button and possibly a chimney? So start from there.
Okay, so I'm going to try my hand at making a peppermint button. So I want to make something small and pepperminty. So I'm going to go with I'm just going to experiment here. So I started with a cinch circle holding both red and white together. I'm going to alternate my yarns and I'm going to work over top of them. So that was
a candy cane chimney.
This is small work, but if you take your time, you can do it. Don't want it to be too big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So And one more. Okay, so I'm going to
Actual
start.
lights.
I might have
Ooh,
actual
I think
lights
we have mini lights
that you can like
Yeah.
sew into something. I
And
might
that they
actually
turn
have
off
those,
with
but I'd
batteries.
have to look for them. So I started with white, which means I'm going to switch to red. I am just experimenting here, gang. I don't really know how this is going to turn out. We shall see. Well, maybe I should stick with the white because that'll make it off kilter. Yes, I will do that.
While you're working on that, I'm going to read out Rosario's answers. It's a corn. I'm going back to the tamales.
You're really hot on this tamale. I love it. Okay, let's hear it.
It's a corn-based dough mixture that is filled with meat of your choice or beans and cheese.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It sounds like a burrito, but it's
breakfast food.
It's a breakfast version.
A tamale. So it's a corn-based dough that you wrap around cheese or like
meat or beans and cheese.
That sounds so good.
Sometimes they're cooked in banana leaves. Oh, that would be good.
Oh, wow.
Cooked in corn husks. So they are cooked in a corn husk.
They're cooked in a corn husk. Well, that's a good way to use up the corn husk.
Yeah, I see. I understand. That would keep the moisture in. Nice.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. We're learning something new every day.
All right. Is that? No, I think I did it backwards. Boy, taking out. Okay, I'm frogging the second row. And I'm going to start again. So that was red. I'm going to start with red.
A peppermint dormer window. There's another idea.
Peppermint dormer. I like the fact that they used the word dormer.
Hey, this sweater's supposed to be ugly.
I know.
Not cute.
I'm trying to make
fail. Epic fail.
I want to make a realistic looking peppermint candy.
Just so you know, we are 2 minutes over the hour.
Are we? Okay, let me get this peppermint candy sorted out.
It's up to you.
And then I'm thinking I've got my brain on tamales and stuff. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I made a carrot cake. I wanted to tell you about my recent exploits in the kitchen. I made a carrot cake the other day. I love carrot cake, and I'm terrible at following recipes. I usually just kind of skim it and go, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, and then I just kind of do whatever I want. I made a carrot cake, and we put for about a 9-inch square glass baking dish. I made a simple like very simple cake batter with about a cup of very finely grated carrot, a healthy dose of cinnamon and allspice to kind of give it that tasty thing. And we did about a half a cup of chopped pecans, and a half a cup of chopped prunes. And we mixed that all together, and it was delicious. Oh, and then I made a lemon cream cheese icing for it. That was really good. Mr. InStitches thinks I may have put too much lemon in it, but I
liked it.
Yeah, you liked it.
I did.
But you were
just thought
ever my refiner.
Slightly less lemon.
It's true. I could probably.
But it was very, very good.
I put in half a lemon, an actual lemon, so maybe just a little less than half an actual lemon. But it was tasty, and I love carrot cake. Okay, I'm getting somewhere here.
It's also kind of fun to, try and throw some things together, experiment with stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes you're like, whoa, this is amazing.
Yeah, and then other times you're like, no, this could be
I don't know.
better. All right, I'm just experimenting here, guys, with did I do that too many? I think I did. I'm just experimenting with a little peppermint by alternating between red and white. This is actually kind of neat.
What type of icing? We used cream cheese.
Mm-hmm.
We made a cream cheese icing.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to do it, but this is how I do it. We use a whole brick of Philadelphia cream cheese. I'll put in, this is up to you, your taste, but maybe like anywhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of a cup of sugar. You can use regular white sugar or powdered sugar. I don't have any powdered sugar right now, so I'm just using what I've got. So I used the regular white sugar. You want to let that cheese sit out at room temperature for at least an hour just to get sort of warm. Smoosh it up in a bowl with a fork, add your sugar, smoosh it all in. If you're just going for plain old cream cheese icing, add a smidgen, like a tablespoon of milk, your choice. And that's your regular cream cheese, maybe a little splash more just to give it the consistency you want, but you don't want to add a lot of liquid. If you're doing the lemon version like I did, substitute in that tablespoon of milk for a tablespoon of lemon. And I did an actual lemon squeezed, which was a little bit more than a tablespoon, probably maybe a tablespoon and a half, maybe 2 tablespoons. So I would recommend maybe just a tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice. And that's for the lemon version. That's all. Just mix it all together, make it all nice and smooth, and then slap it on that cake or your brownies or your cupcakes.
Yeah, you can
or
put
your
that
cookies.
lemon flavored cheese icing on anything.
It's yum.
I think it'd be really good on like chocolate cupcakes.
Yes, or the brownies that Tori suggested.
Oh yeah, we should do that today.
Uh-huh.
You should do that today. You should make brownies with lemon cheese icing.
I was going to make cookies. I thought maybe
and then I will sample them for you. Make sure they're okay.
All right. I don't know how this is turning out. Actually, no, maybe I'm getting somewhere here. I don't know how big this is going to be. This might be too big. This is just a giant experiment here, gang. That's 2. I need to do 1 more. So all I'm doing is alternating in a circle between red and white yarn. And I'm trying to get a bit of a pepperminty shape going. And we'll see how much like a peppermint it looks. And then we will, looks like I'm done. That one. Okay. All right. That's, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think, first of all, I think it's too big. I think that's too big of a peppermint thing. I started with a cinch circle and 6 single crochet alternating between red and white. And then I did the typical and sort of increasing circle as I got. So that's 3 rows. And I feel like it's too big. I don't know if it's pepperminty enough. What do you guys, can you guys see that okay?
That looks like peppermint candy to me.
I think it might be too big though, eh? I could start with a slightly smaller circle, maybe 4.
I don't know. Let's see, put it on the little house.
It's, hey, maybe this is the dormer window.
That can be the dormer window.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me just flip this thing around here. Okay, I'm going to hold it up on me. Can everybody see that? Is that visible?
Yes.
Okay, and then there's the little dormer window. What do you think? Maybe? Yes? No? Not sure?
As an anchor decor, yeah.
Maybe a...
It's not too big for the bottom. It kind of looks like a bit of a little wagon wheel too. It could be decor for the porch.
You know what? I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to take it out.
I don't think you need to take it out, but you could make some smaller ones.
I will try some smaller ones. Yeah. I will experiment and try some smaller ones, maybe this afternoon, maybe tomorrow morning.
I think it's perfect, says Shelly. Shell says, looks great as a window. Absolutely, so cute, awesome.
I think it does look kind of like
that. Looks awesome, says Sherry.
I mean, we are
so
going
cute,
for ugly.
Says Queen. Perfect. Yes, so cute.
I think I have a biased bunch of friends here.
I think everyone in the chat is biased. They're making it sound like you've made the best thing in the world.
Wow. Oh, you guys, you're so funny. Okay, so
very supportive.
I'm just going to weave in my tails. I'm not sure where this is going to go. And
Lala says a lovely stained glass peppermint window. Yeah,
a stained glass peppermint window.
Look like that.
Lala's engaged the creativity factor.
There you go.
I love it.
Perfect window.
Boy, you frame the idea a bit differently. Oh, it's a stained glass window, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, it's a stained glass window.
It's a stained glass window. There you go.
That does look really cute. Might be up at top, maybe the side.
You know what? It looks cute at the top too.
It does.
It does. It makes it look like a cupcake.
I'll definitely be adding this, but I'm going to fiddle around and see if I can get some better ones.
I would wait to add the
Oh, yeah.
accents.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm definitely going to be waiting to add accents. Okay.
But so far, good job. That definitely looks like a spiral peppermint candy.
So this is what we managed to make today. And just to reiterate, if you're late joining, this is I use size 4 medium weight acrylic yarn, but of course it's your sweater or your t-shirt. You can use whatever yarn you want. This is a solid double crochet granny square, just a plain old solid double crochet granny square. We've got a tutorial on that. We'll make sure all of the links to the appropriate tutorials are in the description box once this is done. I only worked for 4 rows and it wound up being about 5 inches. So I think that's a good size, but whatever size you want, make your square as big as you want. And then the roof is the classic corner to corner double crochet block pattern. And I did 6 rows of that. And then I outlined it with white. So super simple.
Can you fold the part down, go right down to the house? Yep. Now put it right up against. Now look at the camera. Okay, everyone, what do you think? Jayda's face with the hat as the one of the next decors. I could see like a chimney, like that's perfect. That's the best decoration today.
I love this. Okay, so
perfecto.
This is how far we got today. I'm so excited. So there it is. We've got the roof and the main.
Show everyone the candy.
And then I made this.
They're just joining in.
I'm not sure if we're going. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. I'm definitely going to use it.
I think you should definitely make some like smaller versions.
I'm going to try and make some tiny versions.
See how they.
But I'm also going to maybe try some gumdrops, and I'll also make sure I have the beads and the buttons tomorrow. So we're going to pick up this sweater project tomorrow. Same bat chime, same bat channel. We're going to do 12 o'clock noon Eastern. We're going to continue working on this house. So we're decorating the house. And if you want to make one, put your feet up this afternoon and make one. Like I said, the bottom part of the house is just a granny square, your choice, solid double crochet like I did, or the traditional shell stitch that is super easy to do. And the roof, you just want to increase every row of the standard double crochet corner to corner pattern. And then once it's just a little bit wider than your square, fasten off. Leave tails to sew it down, or if you're sewing it through a fine fabric, weave in your tails and sew everything down with a sewing needle and thread. But later, you want to do all your decorating first.
Jayda gnome. You do look like a little gnome. You know what? That's my favorite decoration, was your head on the top of the house. I think we should go with that.
But you're biased too. I don't know.
Now you have to fold it more. You have to fold the shirt more so you just see the house. A little more. A little more. There you go. Perfect. Guys, what do you think? Hold on. Let me get some sound effects going.
Complete silliness.
Everyone agrees. We're getting lots of thumbs up. Oh absolutely perfect.
All right, darlings. We will pick this up tomorrow. Feel free to make up your own house so you can start decorating it along with us tomorrow. Or, like I said, if you're just feet up enjoying the company, that's excellent. We're going to do some more questions tomorrow. I got a whole bowl full here. We're probably going to talk more about tasty cookies and food because that seems to be a favorite topic this time of year. And we're going to continue decorating our little gingerbread house.
We're a cooking show and a crochet show this week.
We're kind of like a baking show.
We're a baking show.
Without anybody having any actual like.
We're even crocheting
food. I love this. I can't wait to take some photographs of this. It's so cute.
Someone said epic fail.
Epic fail because it's
not ugly at all. This always happens.
I can't help it.
Jayda just kind of starts spiraling towards cute stuff.
I'm looking at the little frostings and I'm like, all right. We will pick this up tomorrow, gang.
You know what? We'll change the title of this series to
ugly
/ cute. You know how there's creepy cute?
Yes.
Well, this is ugly cute.
This is ugly cute. This is like epic ugly cute. But we haven't decorated it yet.
So we'll wrap it up for today.
We're going to leave everything right where it is. We'll pick it up tomorrow and let us know if you
come up with any ideas.
If you have any ideas,
if you're going to make one, send us pictures.
Yeah, you can send them to us at Instagram, Pinterest, Etsy shop. We haven't been to the Instagram in a little while. Don't worry, we will get there. So if you tag us, we'll definitely see it.
Etsy is the best way.
Etsy's the best way because we're in and out of there much faster.
We check in more often.
So yeah, and of course it's all private. You don't have to post it publicly. You can just sort of send us a little message with a little picture attached if you're shy, and that's perfectly fine too.
And come tomorrow ready
with
with ideas and ready with your yarn.
Come with your yarn. Come with your pre-made house if you want to decorate it tomorrow, because that's what we're going to do more of, and get ready to answer some more questions. We're going to have some more questions. We'll do a few more. We only managed to do 2 today, but I think we were getting started with the house. So we'll definitely do some more questions tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that will be 12 o'clock noon Eastern, and same time, same place.
Tomorrow and Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes.
So countdown to Christmas, guys. Have a good afternoon. Take care. Stay safe. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
I didn't even finish my coffee.
Neither did I. I still have coffee, and there's coffee downstairs.
I think that's mine. I think you owe me that.
No,
coffee.
It's not yours.